Hello and welcome to another daily devotional thought here at Fairview Lutheran Church. We're in Judges chapter 2, and we just heard yesterday about how the whole generation went without knowing the God who had rescued, who had saved, who had been there for their forefathers. And it kept getting worse, that they would go into idolatry and they would do things that were against God's will. They forsook the Lord. In verse 14 of chapter 2, it says these words: "In his anger against Israel, the Lord handed them over to raiders who plundered them. He sold them to their enemies all around, whom they were no longer able to resist. Whenever Israel went out to fight, the hand of the Lord was against them to defeat them, just as he had sworn to them. They were in great distress." God does at times send things in our lives to teach us. And sometimes teaching comes in ways that are not pleasant, that have hurt behind them, so that ultimately we might turn back to God. That we might see the error of our ways and forsake him not. And so the comfort of this reading is not that God handed them over, but in the next verse, verse 16, "Then the Lord raised up judges who saved them out of the hands of these raiders." And so God, who seeks to draw us to himself and to hold us tight and keep us safe, sometimes sends things to punish his people so they might turn to him. And he's always had a way to save. He promised it in the Garden of Eden to all mankind in the form of a Savior who would be born in Jesus. He promised it to his people then as they forsook it. He delivered for them judges. And he gives us a very similar thing when he promises that he will never leave us or forsake us, that he'll send us a spirit to guide us as we work through the struggles of this life, ultimately knowing that we have a Savior in Jesus. May God bless you as you depend on God to defend you against those who would raid or plunder. That you turn to God when things do go awry and we sometimes step outside of his will, and trust in him that he will, as he always has, rescue his people. Have a blessed day.